Okay, so I'm gonna start with picking up what the masculine energy feels like, or the divine couple energy feels like right now. I get the feeling that they're meeting each other halfway and weaving these threads together of that look like, I'm not going to get too into what the threads look like, but they're good. They're not the type that would feel like being bound, and it's like very willing. So there's like small mutual gestures of in coming together, which I guess precedes the physical, but it has a kind of physical feeling. But it's really nice energy, actually. And I've never seen anything like that before, so I'm happy that for this reading, so I could see that. What I love about doing distance healing or healing for people is everyone's soul is so different. Like no two people are like a whatsoever. And sometimes it's a bit overwhelming to see how like beautiful people's souls are and their purpose, like how strong their purpose is. And yeah, the healing process like that I work with helps kind of dust off like tired old programs and like just cleans it all off so that you can just be yourself again and like fully integrate your energies and abilities and stuff. So it's a really rewarding type of work. And I first discovered healing as a thing like back in 2002, and I had this I had kidney stones, and it didn't feel very good, and the doctors were not like helping me, and they took like a CAT scan, and then it came out blurry, and then it was like a resident, she was like laughing that it didn't come out. I was like, oh my god, this is getting me home. And then the day after that was when the whole SARS breakout thing happened. So I didn't really have the option of going back for any kind of treatment. And then and then I looked in like one of those like health food store magazines just for someone who could help just relax me. And I picked this like pretty blonde woman whose face like looked calm and like just kindness instead of ego or whatever, and I thought, okay, well, maybe she's legit. And like in 45 minutes it was amazing. Like all my symptoms went away, all the pain went away, and on top of it, my like emotions that were like more fragile at the time just from being in so much pain, and I also had a newborn on top of it. So it was like I just felt complete calm for 3 months after that. Like I was like, what? Like, can I learn how to do this, please? So, and her name is Sophia Tretton, and I'm really grateful to her that she taught me Reiki and how to open up psychically. She's in Ontario, Canada. So if I don't know if she's taking clients or students, but right now, it's like really life-changing, and I'm like very grateful to her. And anyway, I'm just trying to say like it's also like a great practice in terms of you guys that I'm communing with on the computer. There's a certain amount of connection we're experiencing and healing we're experiencing together. And I'm hoping that even though this isn't like directly a distance healing session on just you, I'm hoping that it has like some kind of incremental, that same feeling of being dusted off and revealing like the true you and your, like the goodness and ability and stuff and direction. Because like when we're all on our own, when we're all tuned in to our guidance, then there's no conflict anymore, because everybody kind of knows where they're supposed to go and who to work with, and you don't have that struggle element or the clinging or like manipulation, or like you just saw that wasted time of not being on your particular perfect awesome project with your perfect most awesome people to work with on that. And sometimes when we spend like, even lifetimes on that resistance energy, it's, the real success is being in victory, being authentic, being on your purpose and being connected to source. And, just like the plants are all like, they know when to wake up and flower and, stuff like that. Like there's a certain calm symphony that we're a part of if we allow it to be so. It's not about like who's going to be the next president necessarily. I think it's all on us to be the president of us, and vote for us healing and getting to know ourselves. And like, I'm not big on like demonstrations and stuff personally, because I was taken to a lot as a child in the 70s and stuff. So I'm kind of like sort of prefer the inner work that people can do that then reflects out into the world positively and has good repercussions for everybody around them. So, anyway, so I'll get on with the reading. We have, I'll just say like one little side note. I know that with live videos, there's a text box and stuff, but I don't have it visible right now. And it's not generally something I get into, because I wouldn't want to like drop my focus on the reading to interact. Like I may do some kind of interactive video at some point, but like not there yet. And in time, if it seems appropriate, or if there's enough of a desire on the part of people for something like that, okay. So we have Brazilianite flexibility. I'm flexible and free to be me. Heliodor, confidence. I am confident in all that I do. I like that crystal. That's nice. Divine Temple Crystal Source. I'm deeply connected to an expression of the divine source of the universe. We get this one a lot. I think source is like, hello, like, remember me? So I think like a lot of people need to like remember that they're part of source, and source is there to help us and guide us. And it's like our number one buddy. It's like have coffee with source before you start your day kind of thing. Like he's your, he, she, whatever, like it's an energy of creation and stuff. So together, it's like remember to be flexible and confident, and remember source at this time, because maybe you were not being flexible and you were lacking confidence and you were ignoring source. So stop doing that and get on track. And you can call upon the crystal kingdom to help you, because like, how did crystals get formed? They're not just like a handful of sand, right? Like, that's cute how that one looks like a heart now. So they had focus, like they have a consciousness, and they had focus, like, I'm going to be this. I'm going to look like just this. I'm not going to have a bunch of other stuff in me. I'm going to look like this and resonate. I'm going to resonate at golden. I'm going to resonate at green. I'm going to be completely clear and hang out with my other completely clear crystals in a complex that works together, right? So the focus of purpose of crystals that took so long to make and like is so intense, and that kind of energy and support from them, if you call upon the crystal kingdom, is like really significant. They're great teachers, and like not every teacher is like blah blah blah, you know, like a teacher in a classroom. Some teachers don't say anything, and just through observation you're like, oh, you're blowing my mind with your like singularity of like purpose here. Just like people are in awe of like beautiful gemstones. It's like, whoa, this diamond is like freaking me out with it's like, you know, or that ruby is such a beautiful deep red color, you know. And it's like they didn't just become that by accident. They have a consciousness, and they're teaching through non-verbal, like, you know. But if you tune into them, you can get like translated into your language in your mind, like messages from them. If you allow, like, can you allow your self to even conceive of them talking to you in the first place? And then once you get past like those kind of blocks and prejudices, your world opens like so much, and you have a lot like less stress on the choices you make, because you have like these cool this cool support group among other things, like the elements, or you know, all kinds, just all kinds. And that's what's so cool about, like, because I had this impression of what spirituality meant, or like the people that practiced it when I was a teenager and stuff. And I didn't really think it was for me, because I don't wear like heavy, like large yarn knit sweaters and chunky necklaces, and I'm not always like, I had these ideas like people are always like cooking up herbal teas and just always talking about relaxing and stuff. And I mean, I had other interests than that, and I didn't want to dress that way or like necessarily have a group of friends that were all like acting like that. Like I had that kind of stuff in like old, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna get into it because this is like public video. But anyway, I grew up in the 70s, so I saw plenty of that. And yeah, so it was like not, I didn't think it was for me. But then once I had that healing session with Sophia, like I mentioned, and I was like, what? Like, why doesn't everybody know about this? And, you know, why doesn't everybody embrace psychic ability? Because it's like super fun and more intellectually stimulating than like regular life, like closed, you know, blind kind of life. So it's like, oh, you can be yourself and have these skills that everybody technically could have if they accepted them. So it's like, can you allow yourself to have the confidence and flexibility to perceive source, to receive these gifts? Or are you just gonna like hold on to, like fearfully grasp onto like any kind of like crumb that anyone gave you and scream like don't leave? Or, you know, like you need to, like there's a reason why rivers are like rushing rivers. They're not all just stagnant pools, you know. Like you don't go out of your way to visit like a stagnant pool with your family on vacation, right? You go to see nature flowing and like blowing your mind with its creations. And it's like, well, you can be like that too. Like, let's all just blow people's minds with our flow and our creation and stuff, right? So Alright, so with the Golden Tarot, we have the Fool, the Queen of Swords, and 5 of Cups. I'm just gonna have a little look. Yeah, I think like in order for the masculine to get out of like feeling like woe is me, they have to be kind of harsh with people in their lives, like be the boss and like tell it like it is, maybe sharply. Maybe they'll be seen as kind of like the B word, and in order to be like living your life and as you should be, as you're guided to, and feeling supported and confident with source to move forward, even though you may have left some things behind and you just have like your little bag on a stick left in your faithful friend. Am I covering it up? Yeah. Little like your buddy, the dog. But the dog is also depicted in white, signifying like that spirit is with you faithfully through the whole voyage and like will bark if you need to know something. It looks like the dog's kind of barking right now, like, hey, there's a cliff here. So if you listen to source, you're not going to fall off the cliff. Like, get in touch with your intuition so you can hear the guidance. Like, you don't want to waste time. You don't want to suffer injuries or, you know, get into unnecessary turmoil. Like, listen to guidance. Like, hey, like don't don't take a step off here. Like, let's go a different direction. And you're like, okay, like I hear you. I'm gonna listen, and this is so fun. Feeling like on my path, you know, instead of like this guy where he's just like, oh my gosh, like what, like all these efforts or relationships or what I poured my heart into has fallen over. But it's like, hey, turn around, check it out. Like, there's 2 cups still standing. Like, there's still a relationship here that you're not taking part in, that has been offered to you, that if you turn around, it's like you could enjoy that. But in order to do that, you need to like clear the path and be like this energy of like, out of my way. I'm going after my joy and my purpose, and spirit's gonna guide me there. Excuse me. And then we have the 10 of Swords. Yeah, and the Son of Cups. And we had that yesterday too, I think. So the 10 of Swords like is to me echoing that same Queen of Swords energy of just like, out of my face, everybody. The temple is for me and this like relationship I want. And it can't be all busy. It can't be like, you know, Odysseus's wife's place where all these guys, all these suitors have come to like try to take her away. It's time to clear out so you can like really have this solid structure that's meaningful, and all these other lessons and characters and partners and stuff, you know, gotta go. And like go, you know, they're falling into the water. So it's like, why don't you fall into your own emotional life? Like, go back to it, like find your happiness. Like, there's no way that all those people can find happiness with the one person that resides in this temple. So it's like, go back into the ocean of the world and your desires and stuff, instead of fighting over someone here. Like, lose that fighting energy. Like, drop your swords. They're all dropping their swords just to like go like, okay, I embrace my life, and maybe it's with someone else. Maybe I overestimated this temple as being like so stable, or like maybe some people were like after someone's dough. And maybe some situation will bring you more abundance, like for yourself or mutually with your new partner, that so you don't have that clinging, fighting energy over scraps, or like trying to manipulate this person who lives in the temple, like the divine masculine, or don't have such high regard for a situation that's not been working and that you need to fight for. There's going to be something that's easy and more pleasurable and like in sync with the whole ocean of emotions and movement for you if you move on and like drop your fighting, energy and stuff like that. And then that's going to bring peace to all parties. Because like right now he's alone. He's able to like think and enjoy life. And these two like animal messengers, whatever, are confirming that, like, when you see like two birds, it's like, oh, that means like coming together as a couple, So it's like while you're enjoying being in tune with everything in your life isn't so crowded, and you're sort of calling forth the beauty of togetherness. It's like the birds are high-fiving that by landing on the rocks near you and going like quietly, like the crystal is just like, like they're not talking to you like, hey, we're two birds, like they're not saying that. It's up to you to observe, just as it's up to you just to observe how beautiful like each crystal is and get something out of that without like someone beating it over your head. So a certain amount of responsibility that we all have to take in terms of being open to perception. Then we have in the all right, I'm gonna have to cover some of these. In the Tarot of Sexual Magic, we have the King of Wands. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Queen of Swords. So it's like a double Queen of Swords in the reading. So yeah, in order to come back to this, like make the trip back to this relationship that's meaningful and like could be past life connection, you're gonna have to break up with some people or like make some distance, like so that you have the space to passionately come together with the feminine. Yeah, and you're both wearing golden capes, so that refers to being cloaked in like spiritual connection and purpose, and also being protected. So this by like cutting things off with other partners, you're going to be able to come together in a protected, passionate union. Because I get the feeling when I look at the King of Wands card, regardless of the drawing on it, really, like there's the gold in his face is really speaking to me. Like, here, check out his face. Like, look how much he's so in love and like really just wants to just melt into that love and security, and because some of the cards in this deck, like for instance, this one, like the feminine character is like showing her face, so it's like, look at me, kind of. But this feminine energy is just like fully 100% just wants to be part of this union, and that's more important to her than like her ego or like while she may be attractive, it's more just like for the masculine energy to commune with, you know. So that's really sweet. And then we have this card. I chose to be here in this glorious physical body. To be this me has been my choice. You chose the opportunity to experience this delicious contrast and to co-create with other joy-seeking beings, to fine-tune the process of deliberate thought. The what, where, when, and with whom you create are your choices too. So it's like, yeah, knowing that it's all on purpose. And there may be some element of like, when I look at this card, like how the orange sun is like above and kind of separate. I feel like maybe what's been going on has been that the masculine energy has felt like a separateness from their passion or like people they would be passionate with, and kind of avoiding, you know, it feels like that. But, you know, feeling in love because they're like surrounded with green and stuff and aware of the divine. But it's like now, like without fear, try to integrate this passion and heal this like sacral chakra, kind of reproductive, creative center part of you by incorporating it like in a way that's healthy. Because like I was thinking this morning, you know how it's like trendy today to kind of diminish like commitment, right? So there's like sayings like friends with benefits and stuff, but I was kind of thinking like it's really like friends with neglect, you know, because you're not really getting like a full attention from anyone or commitment, or you're not like living on purpose, you know, making the choice to like live on purpose and like really, it's kind of, I mean, call me old fashioned, but I kind of think it's respecting yourself by respecting another person and like allowing that time to like focus on that person instead of treating people like disposable or interchangeable, because we're all so different from each other. Like it would, you may feel like that by collecting so much, you know, that you are abundant, but true abundance, I think, is between you and source and like feeling like fulfilled in your life purpose and feeling like loved like completely in yourself, and then sharing that with like someone who respects you and has love to share as well, you know, in a non-codependent manner. So yeah, try to mindfully in a sort of golden rule kind of way incorporate this passion and creativity into yourself, into your life, instead of seeing it as this like distant thing that like exists but like isn't part of you. So yeah, so to have the confidence and flexibility to take that in. Just 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so then I'd have 2 more cards left. Did I really use all my decks? Oh, I forgot. Okay, let me do. I like the Hermetic Tarot, so I knew it was like something was missing. This will be the first time you see me shuffle. I don't like to shuffle because it sometimes takes forever. And it's harder to shuffle when you guys are watching because I pick up on your energy and stuff, and the cards get more like chunky because there's people's willpower gets in the mix. It's like, read me. Okay. Okay. Woo. All right, so wait, that's a bit crazy. All right, so we got 2 cards. We got, again, the reverse hangman, which I'm glad to see because it's like, come out of this suspension and walk forward, like claiming, the power of like all the knowledge of like what this stuff. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna have to like wind this up really fast because someone called and it's important. And then we have also the 5 of Wands, so it's like strife and ego and manipulation and just what it looks like So it's like coming to realize that there was this manipulation and argumentative behavior like going on. And it's like, enough. I'm gonna come out of that. I'm gonna drop this kind of stuff and walk forward as the Fool. Like this guy's gonna walk forward as the Fool now. And then we have let love transform, the impossible made possible, and cosmic heart. So again, Source is like, hello, connect with the cosmic heart and allow love, which is like super transmute power, it's very powerful. Let love transform the situation. And I don't mean like grabby, codependent, so-called love. I mean like love, like source energy kind of love and unconditional love. Let it heal you, like let it open your mind to like maybe the path you should be on if it's not like what's been frustrating you. And and find the courage and the impossible made possible. So through letting love transform and being open to the cosmic heart, what you thought was impossible will become possible. So that's like really positive, but and with the message that like things are interweaving now in a very gentle, like good way between the divine masculine and feminine energies, then that's becoming more integrated and solid. And so make sure that you stay in your confident flexibility with your connection with Source, that you know that love can transform the situation and all the rest of the messages we talked about. I really hope that you have a nice day. Thank you.